and wrote their license plate down, and it was like an old man with a handicap sticker on the back of his car. And I called the police, told them about what happened, and then drove back to see if that girl was all right. And the EMS was there by that time, and they were like, they were like, yeah, it's amazing. Like, she just kind of bumped her head a little bit, but she seems like she's okay. And her dad came over like, look, this is the license of that car. Look, I was a witness. I watched this whole thing happen, and that car is like right, like 4 blocks down. I can take you to it. And they were like, well, we got it from here. I'm like, you sure? Because man, Austin cops are kind of incompetent.
Well, I know what you mean. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But, and it was on my way home driving by. I saw by the time I got down there, they did have the guy pulled over.
Oh, they did. So they caught the guy?
Yeah.
See, you've had such bad experiences with cops. I've been told to get out, do the drunk test, and been let go with a warning and all kind of stuff. I've just been lucky with the cops because that happened to me one night where I was in a hit and run.
Yeah, I was too. And they caught the guy later. They were like, you won't believe this, but we caught him. I was like, wow, I don't believe it. And the cop was just like, yeah, man, we had him, and they confessed, and I wanted to take him in, but my sergeant wouldn't let me. But yeah, I was like, what? I was like, what? Really? He's like, but they're in big trouble because that's a Class C misdemeanor. And I was like, that's it? They hit my car, drove off, and that's it. And it turns out they were going back to Florence. He was like, yeah, I think they're soldiers. So I think it was like during especially the height of the Iraq war. They were just giving everybody a free pass. I'm like, you motherfuckers.
Yeah, no, that's probably what it was. Because my hit and run, man, I'll tell you what happened. I was coming, and it was funny because I was coming from the big Sin City premiere that they had here. And I was driving, and I entered this intersection. Now, it was probably not very smart on my part because I was in the right.
Yeah.
I had a green light, and there was a car coming, and that car was going so fast that I should have known they wouldn't stop. And I went ahead, just took a chance, crossed the road, and sure enough, I was like, I just shut my eyes. I was like, I'm fucking dead.
Jesus.
I was like, hello, Jesus, tell me about everything I've fucked up on in life because I know I said a lot of bad things. I might as well be ready. It's like I wasn't ready to talk to police, and I was ready to talk to Jesus. So, but I closed my eyes. I heard a crash. I heard and when I opened my eyes, I was facing the opposite way because it went so fast. I was like, where the fuck am I?
Man, when we got hit on our way to Brian Brushwoods, where that truck took the whole front end of your car off, I thought you seemed rather unfazed by it.
I'm like a soldier who's been to war.
Hey, you've been there before.
It's like it's nothing, man. I've done this.
Shit.
I've been in so many accidents like that. With my sister, I tell you about that in a minute. But no, that car hit me, and that's the thing. I was turned around the opposite way, and I was looking like, where the hell am I? Because I wasn't hurt. I was like, because I was touching myself, like, oh fucking Jesus, okay, I'm alive, alive. And I was like, and then I looked at that car, and when I saw them, it was almost like that car was looking at me. Because I looked at that car and I was like, no, you motherfucker, don't you do it. And sure enough, that car just stood there for a moment and said, Sky! And drove off.
Aww.
I was like, son of a bitch, man. I was like, all right, well, I guess I just had to bite the bullet on this because they're not going to catch that guy. And no one was around that night.
Yeah.
I mean, that night it was empty. But when I got hit, people came out like zombies. They just came out the darkness like, witnesses.
Yeah.
All these people showed up and said, yeah, we saw that car. One person had the license plate number.
Good.
And I don't know where these people came from. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention. But cops came up and they started questioning me and everything. And once they knew I was good, they said, so we got information on the guy. But there's probably not a whole lot we can do because we don't even know if this license plate number is right.
See?
So 2 minutes after that, there was a woman cop, and she's like, what? You got him? And they came on and like, well, they say they got him. We don't know if it's the same guy, but they got somebody who was in a recent accident who was near here. And I sat down for a while. This cop who apparently had got the guy came back over to the scene where we were.
Yeah.
And he told me everything. He's like, because I said, how did you catch this guy? The guy was in a 7-Eleven buying something. I don't know, but he said he
scratch off ticket. He like, man, I survived that. I'm so lucky. I gotta play the lottery.
Oh yeah, that guy's in there. No, the guy was driving. He got the car. The cop was in 7-Eleven. He was
okay.
walking out and saw a car with that was damaged.
Oh, okay.
And so he went ahead, put on the lights, and pulled the guy over. Comes out the car to the guy. And he's like, excuse me, sir, have you been in an accident tonight? And the guy,
Yes,
like,
I mean, no.
but it was almost like that. He said, the guy looked at him and said, I might have, and I can't
Jesus
recall.
Christ.
And that's when the cop said, get your ass out the car. Come on. You're going to jail tonight. The guy had, because I said, well, what's happening to the guy? He said, well, he'll spend the night in jail. We'll let him go tomorrow, and he'll probably have to pay a fine. And from there on, it's going to be between him and his insurance company. And a situation like this that has jail time involved, it ain't going to be good. And I was like, all right, well, I said, am I ever going to meet this guy? He's like, no. He's like, you probably be contacted by a lawyer. All that would be done through them, and you'll get a settlement. And I did. I got a nice little chunk of change.
Is that when you got your new car out of?
Yeah.
Out of that money?
Yeah. Yeah, sure did.
The one that got wrecked on the way to Brian Brushwood's?
Yep. I had that for a good 2 years before.
Man, but okay, ignore that whole thing I said about karma at the beginning.
No, and here's the kicker right here. Now I'm not gloating over this or anything, but we were lost in the middle of nowhere and we got into a wreck. It was my fault. Now I'm not going to make that excuse. I just pulled out to the middle of the road, didn't see a car.
Well, you know what? You were on the phone. You were looking in one direction and not looking in the other.
I was on the phone with Brian's parents trying to find out where we were going. But
right.
You know what? I'm not going to make any excuses for myself because I was in an accident where I should have been more attentive and almost got Leon killed. So because they're going to hit your side.
It did. It's one thing where I'm sitting there watching that truck coming at 60 miles an hour, and I'm going, Corey, bam! Yeah. And I just watched the whole front of that car get taken off, and it's just like, holy shit, what just happened? And yeah, your airbags didn't deploy at all. And it was one thing to have it happen because it's so surreal, but it was another thing to step out of the car and look back at that twisted piece of a car.
They totaled it.
Yeah.
I mean, really, had they been closer, either both of us would have been dead or you would have been dead.
I would have been dead for sure. Yeah. No, another 6 inches, it'd have been over for me.
We were fucking lucky, man.
And, but just like the idea, like what strikes me funny that I kind of laugh at was like the looks on the faces of the people who were around when we stepped out of the car. Cause they just looked like, how the fuck are these two guys alive?
I know. We were like Houdini coming out that shit. You know? We might as well get out that shit and say, ta-da! And now for my next act.
I know. Even Brian Brushwood, the magician, would have been like, damn, how'd you guys do it?
Yeah, because Brian came out there. He did say, like, how the fuck did y'all survive this?
And it was one of those, I kept looking at the car to make sure my ghost wasn't, I see my corpse there. I'm like, uh-oh, this is not good.
Yeah, we're standing next to Brian and like, what the fuck? Brian's like, what the fuck happened? Well, Brian, we didn't see the car coming. And Brian, dun, dun, dun. Wait a minute, Leon, is that us? Damn, man, I sure was looking forward to Brian's part. You think I can still go swimming like this? But no. So that woman, now she got at the car because we were like, now. Any situation like this, you see this on TV and people are coming out and they're like putting flashlights in your face and people going to jail and all kind of stuff. People be yelled at like, how could you do this? No, the cops came out and they were real cool out there because we were like, oh man, we're in a small town. The cops coming out here, 2 black guys out here done cause havoc with
my worst nightmare.
But those cops came out because we were surrounded by cops.
Yes.
They came out and surrounded us and we were expecting the guns to be drawn at that point. But the sheriff looked at us and he's like, you 2 guys, you had anything to drink? Nope. Are you on any kind of medication? Nope. You guys sober? Yep. All right, everybody go home.
Yeah, it was one. That guy was like a comedian. He was funny, which really eased the situation. But he was like, "You guys haven't been drinking?" We were like, "No, sir." He's like, "Ah." He threw her into one guy. He's like, "Well, you can leave." He's like, "Man, that's too bad because this guy loves to take drunks in."
That's what they came out to see if it was a drunk driving accident. Yeah. That was the biggest thing.
Yeah.
And since it wasn't a drunk driving accident, they were like, "Well, this is routine. You guys survived it. We get wrecks like this all the time." And they were actually kind of cool with us because even though I was the one at fault, we were just being cool. It was just kind of like, look, man, it's my fault. sorry about all this. And that woman, I'll be glad to exchange any information and do whatever she needs me to do. And that woman, she was over there crying, called her husband. She was like, I just want to go to the grocery store. You remember? Because that's all I was doing. Because she looked at me and she was like, that's all. I just wanted to go to the store. I was like, well, shit, I guess you ain't going now. You going to the auto parts store. You still going somewhere. And you didn't go to the grocery store. But because she was on the phone talking to her husband, and since we being so cool, the guys were over there looking at her just kind of like, yeah, she'll be all right. You know?
Right.
Now, to show you how there's really no real karma in the world, I was the one at fault.
Yeah.
I was the one that ruined that woman's day.
Yeah.
I was the one that kept her from going to the grocery store.
Right.
And I don't know what happened with her, but out of this, I got a better, faster car.
True.
My insurance went down.
What?
Yes. I don't know why, because I think my car was older.
Yeah.
My insurance went down.
Damn.
And I still got money, like from the wreck. When I looked at this, I was like dreading hearing.
Yeah, because I remember that was the thing you were going like, I'm fucked. I'm like, dude, we're alive. You're not fucked.
Yeah, it was just kind of embarrassing because when we got back to Brian's place, everybody was standing there. It was almost like a surprise party, but instead of everybody saying surprise, they were like, you in a wreck? You know, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But
we were all laughing about it. Then I had a moment to myself where I was just almost broke down. I was like, oh shit, that was almost it.
Yeah, no, people just, because everybody was almost like, you were at a funeral. Everybody's like, I was almost expecting just shy of everybody to be like, Corey, how did you fuck up so bad?
Oh man, nobody was mad.
I know nobody was mad, but you embarrassed. You know, you get there because everybody's looking after you. They're like, well, because everybody keeps saying the same thing. Well, at least you're alive.
Right.
Like, yeah, at least I'm alive with some high fucking insurance premiums now. Yeah, easy for you to say, bitch. But they, man, everybody was cool. And really, by the time the party was over with, we all had a good time.
Yeah, we did.
It was great, and I had to ride back with Brian's magician assistant, who was cool. Actually, he was real cool. He was a nice guy. Had a hot ass wife, so that made it kind of easy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, Brian can't have a magician's assistant. Like every other magician has an assistant who's like some hot chick wearing fishnet stockings, but he's just got some teenage dude.
Yeah, he had this dude with what's with magicians and fucking spiky hair, man? Because this dude had like crazy hair too. Remember, he had like a pointed ass mohawk. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I know. I bet Brian makes his magicians, his assistants wear stuff like that. He's like, look, if I'm gonna have spiky hair, you gonna have spiky hair.
Yeah, our friend Brian Brush was a magician, and you probably heard us say this before. I mean, you're gonna hear about the guy one day.
Scam school's starting to get big.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. You're gonna hear about him one day. He's gonna be big. And we met him like when he was like nothing. Remember that, Brian? When you was nothing. Yeah, I met you when you were doing fucking.
You was on the street doing 3-card money.
You were doing the shell game on the corner. But so we went and hung out at his place. His family was cool. Man, can you believe that time? I know we're going on see this free form, right? Free form bullshitting.
Yeah.
Man, we'll move on to our agenda. But we came out now. Speaking of the shell game, if you don't know what the shell game is, it's where people come out with a cup or a ball. They have 3 cups in a ball. They used to be done with coconut shells. That's why they call them the shell game.
Right.
And they put the ball under the shell, or these days under a cup, and they shuffle these 3 shells or cups around. You're supposed to guess which cup or shell the ball is under.
Right. Or it's a card. And this guy you're talking about, he did it with cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This brother, we were coming out of a movie theater.
Yeah, and this wasn't like, back in the day. This was what, a month ago?
Yeah, it was about a month ago. This ain't on no New York corner.
Yeah, ain't no New York corner.
It's a strip mall theater.
Yeah.
And we're coming out next to a fucking super salad.
Hey, brother, come here. Let me talk to you for a second.
Yeah, and Leon and I looking at this guy like, you gotta be fucking kidding. We said, are you serious, man?
Yeah, it did sort of kind of, that's a joke.
Like, really? This old shit that they do this shit in cartoons today and tell you that. I learned this shit when I was like 9 that this was fake.
I mean, it's the kind of thing where like if a kid saw it in a cartoon, they would have no frame of reference to know what it was talking about. It's so old.
Yeah.
And him doing that, like, see how quickly you got that? Come on, you want to play again? Let's make for money this time.
Because that's what it was. He let me have the first one free because I was just like, all right, man, I'll play. It's that one. He's like, all right, see, man, you got it. I mean, really, did we look that? This brother, I'm not going to say we look that stupid. This brother must have been fucked up because he came up trying to tell us, like, okay, which one is the ball under? And I guessed it. He's like, all right, now, $50 for this next one. How about that? We do it for money now. He actually said $50.
Yeah.
I was like, No, man. And,
No.
and he's like, see, man, if you guessed that first, you could have had $50 right there. I was like, yeah, I could also be walking away from you right now. You know, I mean, this is stupid. I could be in my car right now going home.
Yeah.
That's the real winner right there. Instead of listening to your dumb ass playing that fucking shell game with me.
Yeah. It's a basic tenet of life that, like, anything you win early on, whether it's set up or not, that's the worst thing that can happen to you. Because it gives you the idea like, oh, this is easy. This will work every time. This scam is a life lesson. Any kind of carnival scam is one of those where they're like, hey, just give it a shot. And if you win, they say, see how easy it is? Try again. You think you're going to win any more than that? No.
No.
You're going to lose the next 3. They're going to be like, yeah, but you know you got the touch. You know you can do it this time.
And see, when he was doing that shit with those coconut shells, the karma for him is that when he walked away, a coconut actually fell on his head. Boom. Like, where the fuck I come from? I know. Karma, bitch.
They're not even indigenous to this area.
We're not even under any trees. See, karma, man.
I know. It's some bird flying by with a coconut that lost his grip right at that second. a toucan from Hawaii just happened to be flying by him.
A cargo plane carrying coconuts actually tipped over. Man, now see, here's where the problem comes into play, Holmes. You heard my story, and I want to hear yours.
My story?
I'm doing that Mexican from Training Day.
Oh,
remember Ethan Hawke pulled that gun out, and they were trying to get his gun away from him.
Yeah.
And they were like, you carry a gun, pig? And he was like, what, like, yeah. Like,
oh, right.
And the Mexicans were like, what, like this? And he's like, see, here's where the problem comes into play, Holmes. You've seen mine. I want to see yours. And they snatched that gun away from his ass. Talk about fucking him in the ass and taking him to the bathroom and shooting him.
You ever had your shit packed?
Oh, yeah. That's
Like,
in real cat. That's where you knew shit was going
yeah,
down.
I was like, actually, I'd like to just go home.
Yeah.
It's all the same to you fellas.
That question came out of nowhere. People, have you ever seen Training Day? Leon and I love this movie. And I'll always quote this movie, but there's a part in there where they just, out of the blue, just these, Ethan Hawke is sitting down with these 3 gangsters, these 3 from a Mexican gang, and they're playing cards, and you can tell that they're messing with him. But out of nowhere, the question comes out. One of them says, "So, hey pig, you ever had your shit pushed in?" And Ethan Hawke is like, "What the fuck?"
Right, yeah.
And they act like it's nothing.
Yeah.
This is a real simple question, Holmes. You ever had your shit pushed in? What about you, man? The other guy's like, yeah, my shit pushed in big time, Holmes. And Smiley, the lead Mexican,
Yeah.
he's the leader. He's like, what about you, Smiley? He's like, oh yeah, I'll always get love from the homies. That's when Ethan Hawke was like, fuck this, I'm out of here. Tried to hit him on the head with that ball and tried to get out of there.
That is one of those jump through the window moments.
Yes, but no, I was saying, I told where I did something that I did something wrong and got away with it.
Well, I mean, I told about, me scraping a car also.
Was that it? You driving that red truck, weren't you? You were that old man driving that red truck.
No, I didn't do that.
Nobody got the license plate number. You drove away laughing. You put a stamp on the side of your car.
The sad thing is, my mom who sells car insurance, she was telling me, because I've had that happen to me, like the story I told.
Yeah.
And just, other times. And she's just like, yeah, the sad thing is, if you hit another car, you actually are better off to take off and take your chances on getting away. Because even if you get caught, the process, unless somebody's hurt, you're not gonna, the penalty's not gonna be that big. And I'm like, Mom, that's really fucked up. She's like, I know, it is a bad system.
Yeah, well,
But I would urge our listeners
to not do that.
well, not only to not do that, but if you see it happen, get out there, be a witness. Just don't let this shit go.
No, I've been a witness to things like that before.
I mean, something where like a little fender bender, that ain't no big deal. I ain't worried about that.
No,
Because I've had people like roll up on me like stop short and hit my car. We both get out. I looked at my car. I'm like, that's one scrape. I ain't. You know what? Don't let this ruin your day. Go on about your business.
Yeah, no, and I've had my situation be where I've had witnesses almost every time I've been hit. I remember being in college. A guy that I actually didn't know it was my car, but he was a good enough guy. A guy named Hondo.
Yeah.
Was good enough to leave a note on my car saying, I witnessed somebody trying to parallel park. They ran into your car. Don't know how much damage is done, but when they knew they made contact, they backed out and drove away in the rainy sunset. And I was like, and they got the license plate number. It wasn't any damage to my car, but that was actually kind of cool that they did that.
Yeah.
So yeah, people, there's your life lesson right there. All you kids out there, don't expect life to be fair all the time, but you can diminish your chances if you do the right thing. So.
Yeah.
You know, not encouraging people to try to get away with shit.
So, yeah, the more you know, and knowing's half the battle.
There you go, playing that flute like Jethro Tull.
Right.
All you kids are like, who's Jethro Tull?
That's true, man. Yeah, it's funny. I'll think of these messages like, yeah, I couldn't keep up with all these references you were throwing out, but I was like, these ain't obscure.
You're like, oh,
if you were born
at
30 years ago.
That time, yes. I got to thank you, by the way, for giving me Breaking Bad for my birthday.
Oh, man, I am so happy that you like that.
I'm 4 episodes into it, and I've been loving it.
Yeah, I know like the 3rd and the 4th episodes are like 2 of the best episodes.
Breaking Bad, for people who don't know, it's an AMC series that's already out on DVD. You bought me the first season, and it's about a chemistry teacher, a high school chemistry teacher, and he's played by the guy who's a dad on Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's that guy's name?
Bryan Cranston.
And he's already won an Emmy for this.
Yeah.
And he's having some hard times.
Yeah, he turns 50, he finds out he's got terminal lung cancer.
And he's working at a car wash.
Yeah, to make ends meet.
Yeah, and that's where I felt like he says he has cancer, but you know where I felt really bad for him? Not when he found out he had cancer, but when one of his little shithead students, like one of these little rich brats, had like their real nice car going through the car wash, and he was and the teacher had to go out there and wash cars because the car wash was shorthanded.
Yeah.
And that student comes up with his hot girlfriend. They were like, "Hey, Mr. White."
Yeah.
And the girl is like, "Oh, you're never going to believe who's washing our car." And she starts taking pictures of him with the phone.
Man, I forgot about that.
I was like, man, I don't know why, but I feel really bad for him more than him finding out he has cancer right there.
Yeah.
And he just says, fuck it. You know, so his brother-in-law's a DEA agent.
Yeah.
And he goes on a run with this guy and they bust a meth lab. And him being a chemistry teacher, he's like, you know what? I can make meth, and I can make the purest meth out there. Just so happens he sees one of his little flunky ex-students jumping out of a window, escaping the bust. He finds that kid, and I guess the kid's like in his 20s now, but he finds him and says, hey, I'm not here to, because they make eye contact during the bust. And
right.
And he thinks the kid thinks he's there to bust him.
Right.
And he's like, look, I'm not here to bust you. I'm not here to rat on you. I want to cook meth.
Right. I want to make an arrangement.
Yeah. I want to go into business. I want to be partners. And of course you know ahead of time, there's all kind of things that can go wrong, and they do.
Oh yeah. And
they do almost immediately. Like you think later on down the line, at some point they're going to run the drug dealers who aren't going to like this. Well, that's the next episode. So yeah. But speaking of my birthday, man, people are familiar with this site and who go on further with this. They know I don't really make a big deal about my birthday. I don't. Usually people get together, we have some beers and whatnot, and people are nice enough to give me things. If I don't get things from people, you know,
hey man, really, you know we all love you.
Oh, no, I'm not. No, I know that. No, I really have reached that point in my life where, and people will reach this at some point. I reached it almost when I got out of college, man. It's just kind of like, you know, I live a really fortunate life.
Yeah.
And there's not a whole lot. I'm trying to clean my place out. You know,
I hear you.
It is like I really don't need for people to give me gifts. I mean, if they're cool gifts like what you gave me, I love books, I love DVDs.
Right.
I will always accept that, and I will always watch them, because those things, if I ever get tired of them, I can pass that entertainment off to somebody else.
I guess that's true. I mean, I was worried about, you know, getting that for you, because I'm like, this is something I know he would love, but your schedule is always so tight. I never know if you have time to watch it. But then I know you watch Training Day almost every day, so I'm like, okay, he can skip Training Day for 2 days.
People are like,
and watch this.
Yeah, because you came in, I had Training Day.
Yeah.
People are like, what is your fucking problem with Training Day? What is with you? Are you mental?
I love that. Like when Nick Hodges came to stay with you, you turned him into Ethan Hawke just so you could act that movie out.
And I want to let people know, that story is slightly exaggerated. Everybody thinks Ethan Hawke. No, everybody thinks Nick and I like really had some knockout, drag out. No, we had one moment in where we got, he said something, I got irritated by it, and we both kind of agree, like maybe it was like the wrong thing to say at that moment.
Sure.
And maybe I overreacted a little bit, but it wasn't like I told people like I pulled over and pointed a gun at his head, all kind of shit. No, none of that happened. I didn't even really yell at him. I just said, hey man, you know, I can tell you exactly what happened, just so people know. We were talking about somebody, and I was defending this person, and then I felt like he had insulted me when I was defending this person. And then I just turned to him and I said this. I said,
"Did I insult him? You insulted him a little bit, little bit. Then you insulted him a little bit."
But I don't even think he meant to go there with that. He didn't even know what he was saying. But it just got to him at the moment. I said, "Well, you know what? If I'm so weak, then you can find some other place to stay." And of course, I wasn't gonna put him out. It was
I know, man. He's all the way. He's so far from his home.
He knows
He's
I was not gonna put him out. He knows that. I mean, he looked at me and he's like, okay, maybe I did go too far. And even that, and at the moment, I was like, you know what, man, it's not that bad.
Here. Why don't you go across the street to Church's Chicken and buy me a 2-piece and get yourself something?
yeah, he's doing Morgan Freeman from a Street Smart. Those are two of my favorite movies to watch.
Yeah, those movies are very similar.
I told people Training Day and
Street Smart.
Yeah, they're two movies about intimidating people who are kind of charming.
Yeah, very charming,
Pull some
intimidating
shit on
people.
you. Yeah, and I've actually pulled a Morgan Freeman, Denzel Washington on people, combined the two,
Right.
and that's kind of what I did to Nick, but not to that extent. You know, I didn't break a bottle and point at Nick's face. Yeah, what? No. So I'm so happy with what I have, man. I'm in a very fortunate position right now to know people all around the world. People wish me happy birthday and shit. And it's really cool. I'm able to travel these days, and I would feel really shitty if I sat up here and said, "What about my birthday? You know, you can get me nothing for my birthday." I mean, it really is at the point where, hey, you know what? If you really feel that way, buy me a, I want to say a pint, talking about Nick. Buy me a glass of beer. You know, buy me, it doesn't matter.
Oh, shit. I spent a lot of money on those DVDs. I should just
now, you
got
know,
you a six-pack.
On September 10th, I wouldn't be like, "Hey, Leon, what the fuck, man? A fucking birthday, man. That's what." No, I really do appreciate it. And if anybody's going to give me anything, I love books and DVDs. And like I said, I don't even have an Amazon wish list up or anything. I'm happy. And so, but the reason why I'm bringing up my birthday,
Okay.
is because this year it's on 9909.
Uh-oh. You turn it upside down. It's the mark of the beast.
Boy, I cannot believe that shit. The last time, the reason why I'm bringing that up is because on my last birthday, it got a little crazy. Got a little bit because of that date.
2008?
No, 2000. I mean, no,
1999. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Did I say last year? I'm talking about my last birthday, and when it was that.
Oh, because it was quadruple nine.
Those symbolic numbers, because people making a big deal out of 9909. Like, ain't shit gonna happen because they had the chance to do it when it was a straight flush.
Right, that's true.
You know, straight nines. I mean, back then, nothing happened. I remember back then, first of all, they had that crazy ass movie, End of Days, come out.
Yep, End of Days. And we were on the verge of, what was it? Was that big thing everybody was scared of?
Y2K.
Yes, Y2K.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah, everybody was scared of Y2K. People thought the world was about to just fucking blow up at the strike of midnight.
Yeah. So all of you who are talking about 2012, just think back to Y2K.
Yeah. Ain't shit gonna happen. Even Mayan Ghost looking at this like, we fucking around with that calendar. We didn't think.
Yeah. It's like, well, we did get conquered by the Spanish, so maybe we didn't know everything we thought we knew.
Yeah. Maybe some Spaniards will come down from space and attack on 2012. But no, back in 1999, they had the movie End of Days. Y2K was up, but End of Days had me laughing.
Oh, I know.
They had Arnold Schwarzenegger in it.
Yeah.
And Gabriel Byrne.
Yeah, Gabriel Byrne is the
man.
devil.
I love that movie, man.
Who was that? Rod Steiger?
Rod Steiger, yeah.
That's the reason. It's 1999. You turn it upside down. It's 666.
Yeah, when he was yelling that shit,
Yeah.
he was like, "It's the mark of the beast, which is thought to be 666, but it's not 666. It's 999. It was in 1999."
Yeah, that's what
like,
came up. Like, what about the one?
Yeah.
Forget the fucking one. I'm trying to tell you people something.
Carry the one. Shit, that's what we do. And then, fuck it. You know, the beast is coming. But I remember sitting, that's when Nicole was doing the Access show with us. And Nicole even looked at me and she was like, "That doesn't even make any sense. They're forcing this to be the sign of the beast."
Yeah.
But that didn't stop people when those, anytime you have numbers making some sort of pattern,
Yeah.
they seem to have some sort of significance. People lose their shit, man.
People are dying to make connections to things.
Oh, no, they are.
Oh, no, it's this is meant to be. This is prophesized.
Yeah.
This is trying to tell us something.
No,
I'm trying to tell you a goddamn thing.
I'm trying to tell you quit acting like a goddamn fool. That's what they're trying. Relax is what it's saying. Because during 1999, now I remember at that time, I was feeling real cool, man. It was like, oh yeah, 999, and all this shit was coming out on my birthday. All this music and DVDs, and at the time, Sony had the Dreamcast come out. Oh no, it wasn't Sony. It was
It was Sega?
Sega. Yeah, I'm sorry. The Sega Dreamcast. Yeah. I think their slogan for the Dreamcast was, "Shh, it's thinking." I'm like, okay, what is it fucking thinking about there? Because this shit ain't doing nothing when I'm looking at it. That must be a long ass thought. But So I went out and bought a Dreamcast just because I was like, well, I heard a lot of cool things about it. It's my birthday. I'm going to buy this anyway because I know my mama going to pay me back for it anyway. So I went and got it. And that night we were playing Soul Calibur on the Dreamcast. And we were all having a good time getting drunk and playing video games. And we had a big party in my place. And there was this guy that I knew. I don't want to say his name right now. But
he's one of the producers on your movie, right?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. But I ain't gonna say it ain't Adam,
right?
Ain't Janice. So,
okay,
so do the math. But so he was there, man. He's a lawyer, well off lawyer, and why he was that should have been the first time. I was like, why the fuck is he hanging around us? He's like a well off lawyer with a son and all this kind of shit. Why is he dealing with?
He's a nice guy, but he's also a close talker.
Yeah,
like whenever he talked to you, you'd find yourself backing up.
Yeah,
but just to reclaim some personal space.
He was intense.
Yeah,
he had the look in his eyes too and shit. Like,
yeah,
you expected to get shanked when he was talking to you. He was looking at you so hard. But he came up to me. Now he pulled me aside. I'm sitting up there playing some games and shit, having a good time. And he pulls me aside. And he gives me a book. I can't remember what the book is, but it did have something to do with the end of times.
Was it written by Jack Chick?
No, it's like Chick Comics. Yeah. Oh, kids, you gotta check out Chick Comics, man.
Chick Tracks. I think it might even be chicktracks.com.
Wait a minute, say that thought. Well, because that's something I can get real deep into. But so yeah, he gave me this book, and it wasn't Chick Comics. I think it was the novelization for End of Days. No, it was no, I don't know what it was. It had something to do with the Rapture.
Okay,
and and I said, well, okay, so what is this about, man? And he's like, I want you to read that, man. I was like, okay, seriously, man, this is about the rapture, isn't it? I mean, this is about the end of the world. He's like, it's not the end of the world, brother. It's the beginning. And I want you to read that because when it goes down, I want you to be there with me. I was like, fuck, man, I'm sitting up here playing Dreamcast. You know, you fucking ruining my I'm like, what's his name from Hustle and Flow? I'm like Terrence Howard. You fucking with my mode, man.
Yeah, right.
Fucking with my mode, man. I'm just playing Dreamcast. I'm like, man, I'm sitting up here having some good vibes going on, and you just fucking it all up for me, talking about the end of days right now. I'm sitting up here I'm just trying to play some fucking video games.
Corey, it's 1999. You know what that means? It's like, yeah, I'm gonna be hearing that Prince song a whole lot this year. Now sit down.
Yeah, I was just kind of like looking at him. I really did tell him, I was like, man, you know I'm not buying into this shit, right? I said, I really appreciate the gesture that you want to save my life right now. Like, fucking mothership's coming down, is going to take us off or something. But really, man, don't just relax. I mean, maybe when I get drunk tonight, I might freak out and need you to talk to me. But right now.
Yeah, but now don't you feel stupid that the rapture happened and all those people? Oh, wait, that didn't happen, did it?
Well, now that I think about it, I really haven't heard from him since.
I saw him last year.
Okay, all right. His ass is still here. I probably heard from him because